Good morning. Good morning to each of you. I am Dr. Corrine Johnson, and I would like to welcome each of you on this morning to Grace for Today 5-Minute Devotional. And on this morning, our subject is going to be We Learn by Doing. And our key scripture is going to be coming from the division of Psalm 13 and verse 5. And I'm going to be reading it from the Amplified version. And it says, "But I have trusted and relied on and been confident in your loving kindness and faithfulness. My heart shall rejoice and delight in your salvation." And so I really like the amplified version of this particular scripture because the psalmist David is basically saying to the Lord that he has had to learn how to trust in God. He's had to learn how to rely on and be confident in God's loving kindness and faithfulness. And so this lets me know that God had proven himself to David in a whole lot of situations. Because the only way that David could look back and say that he had to learn how to trust God, rely on God, and be confident in God was for him to have done and delivered David in past times, right? So that means that he realized that God had never failed him. And I want to encourage you to know this morning that God will never fail you either. You can trust in God completely. You know, a lot of times we like to take matters into our own hands, right? We like to solve our own problems instead of trusting God to handle them because we, because we're human, we want a particular outcome. We want to see things turn out the way that we want them to turn out. But however, God's plan is always going to be the best plan. And that's why we have to learn how to do like David did. We got to trust God. We got to rely on him, and we got to be confident in his faithfulness. And so many of us have spent our lives trying to take care of ourselves. And it takes time to learn how to trust God in every situation in our lives, whether it's small or whether it's something big. But we learn by doing, just as David had to do. When we step out in faith, and as we do, we're going to experience God's faithfulness, which makes it easier to trust him the next time that we go through something. And so we learn by doing. So what do you have to do this morning? Well, whatever situation that you are facing right now in this very moment, you got to learn how to trust, rely, and be confident in the God that you say that you serve. And trusting in him means that you're going to have to lean not on your own understanding, but in everything that you do, you're going to have to continue to acknowledge God so that he can put you on the right path, so that he can direct your steps in the right direction. And so you got to declare that, Father, I don't understand where I am in this thing right now, in this trial, but I'm going to completely trust you. And when you begin to tell God that, he's going to help you to remember that in your times of testing, that he's going to be faithful to you, so that in the future, when you're going through something, you can trust him again, again, and again. And so on this morning, we learn by doing. So let me encourage you to trust God in the midst of circumstances and situations that seem unfavorable to you. Learn by doing, and be confident that your God, because he is faithful, that at the appointed time, he shall deliver you and you shall receive breakthrough. And so on this morning, we certainly thank the Lord for each of you for tuning in and joining with us for Grace for Today 5-minute devotional. And it is my prayer that as you go forth on today, that you will go forth and have a blessed day.